Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Do It Yourself. Today we're going to be talking about berry drops. What are berry drops? Who will benefit from having a berry drop? Who can get a berry drop? And the difference between berry and aerial. So first of all, let's talk about aerial. Aerial will be anything that any community houses that have a pole, like the one behind me. You can see the wires, the electrical wires going from the pole to the house, and then it also has usually a strand for the power for the cable company, and another strand for the telephone company. This is what it looks like when it's aerial. So you can see the power line coming to the house, and then it goes into the meter, and then from the house it attaches all the way to the pole. Usually a regular house. This house was just remodeled recently when I bought it. Would have the cable also the cable from that top strand, which is the cable company, would have a cable going from there all the way to the side of the house. They usually attach it on the fascia. So on that 2x4 wood, it would be attached there with the ram set, and then from there, the cable will come down all the way on the stucco. They will be making holes on the stucco coming all the way down, and usually what they'll do, they'll drill a hole in the stucco going inside the house, and that's where they would usually install your modem. Now we're closer to the pole. This happens a lot on newer homes. When they're remodeling the house and they're doing the stucco, they usually cut the wire that attaches to the house, which is this one right here. They just cut it and leave it hanging. They don't go up the pole and disconnect it. They just leave it hanging. And then a lot of new homes would have a cable, either a telephone cable or a cable just hanging loose, which was the case in my house. They left the cable hanging, so I had to connect it to the modem like that. So the goal in this project will be to run that wire down the pole, and it's gonna go into that conduit, and from there it's gonna run along the conduit on the inside, and then it's gonna go inside the house. And I'm gonna show you that I'll be using to make this project happen. It's very inexpensive project. I think the pipes are around maybe $8 each, 10 feet, about $8 each. And the unions are about maybe $2. I'll show you. So this is where the cable, the pipe comes in from the pole all the way to the house. And then these are the materials that I'll be using. So this is a 45, brought a 45, 90 degrees. And then this box will have the pipe coming in from the ground, connected here, and then this side will go inside the house. And then you can always open this up and then rerun your wires or add more wires or remove wires. This bracket would have the pipes attached to the wall and to the pole, so it won't move. And then these are just a bunch of unions. And this is a 45 as well, kind of like this one. This is preferred so it when you run the wire, it doesn't get stuck inside the pipe. So it's a nice smooth churn 45 versus this one's more stiff. But this one will still work because it's just a 45. If it was a 90, you definitely want to use this. Don't use just a regular 90. This one will allow the cable to go through the pipe with no problems. Also, I will be using this to seal the unions between the pipes. So maybe you're wondering, can anyone do this? Obviously not. The problem with this is I got lucky that the pole happened to be in my backyard. That made it so much easier to run the wire. My previous house, it was across the street. There's no way I could do it. At that point, you just have to wait for someone from the city to do it for you. It was just convenient for me to do it on this one. And the benefits of doing it will be that in the future, if they upgrade to fiber optics, or I decide to change from the cable company to the telephone company and back and forth. I don't need them to come over and run new wires. I don't need them to drill holes into the side of my house. I don't need them to attach wires to the stucco. I'm not gonna need them to drill holes from the outside of the wall to the inside of the wall. So there's a lot of benefits to doing this. I highly suggest, if you have your pole close to your house, remotely close, where it's doable for you to dig a trench and run the wire, definitely do it. It is gonna make it long term. It's gonna make everything much better. And there's a lot of people that have buried drops in their house. Everything's underground, and that wire, actually, this one, it is not inside a pipe. It is just on the dirt. And many times people have gone through the trouble where they're digging outside their house, adding like the sprinkler system or anything like that, and they cut through the wire. And next thing they know, they find out their internet's not working. If you call the cable company, all they're gonna do is just dig up the trench, place the wire down again, and put the dirt back on it. They're not gonna run the wire on a pipe for you. They're just not gonna do it. It's not their job. So I highly suggest, if you if you ever have that problem where you cut the wire by accident, I would, when they come in, make their ticket and they dig up the trench, go buy the pipe yourself. Buy the pipe, lay it down, and then it make your life a lot easier for the future too. Every time you able to protect the wire, it'll last longer. It'll just be much better. The nice thing about this project, it doesn't really require that many tools. This is, in order to make it happen, a saw, a regular drill, and then that's it pretty much. Now I'm gonna start. So right now the pipes are laid down, but they're not sealed. I was just trying to get the proper length that I was gonna need. See if I was gonna need more connectors and unions. Now that I'm actually gonna get ready to actually install it, I'm gonna detach them, and then I'm gonna actually seal every union. I was opening the back right here, and I realized that they don't have any screws. It's just a bracket, and it looks on the picture that they recommend for you to use nails and a hammer. Definitely not gonna be using that. I'm just gonna use regular screws and a drill, making it easier. Work smarter, not harder. And this is what it looks like. So I put the screws in there, put the bracket in there, and that's gonna keep it from moving. It should stay there. It's pretty sturdy. Putting quite a little bit of pressure, and it's not going anywhere. Usually, for low voltage like that, it really doesn't matter. It's as long as the cable comes down here, it goes in there, you should be fine. Obviously, I'm gonna seal this so when it rains, water doesn't go in there. I'm gonna put a little some kind of sealing here. I'll show that later. If it was high voltage, if it was actually doing underground for my electrical, then the pipe will come up to here, same thing as this one, but then they put a sleeve that protects the wire all the way to the top of the pole. But since we're not doing high voltage, there's no need to put that sleeve. We're just doing low voltage. That's fine. That shouldn't be a problem at all. So now I'm just gonna glue the unions. So this is the union. It's like it's a little bit big. So my pipe's 1.25 inches. So this should be it allows the 1.25 inches to go in here, and then there's a little notch in here where it stops, and then the other one goes on the other side. So I'm gonna put the glue on the inside, and then I'm gonna put some of the glue on the outside of here just to make sure it makes a proper seal. And here's the seal. Like I said, you open it, it's clear on the inside, and it's not rocket science. Just put the seal on it and close it. Too easy. And then this, like I said, this is not going to be used for water, gas, or anything like that. It's just a regular pipe. We're going to be running wire through it, so it's not. If it was something like water or anything like that, I will make sure on the inside it's 100% clean, and then I will make sure this surface is super smooth and clean. Since it's just a regular seal, I'm not too concerned about that. So now everything's been properly sealed from this corner all the way to the pole. It's good to go. Now from here to here, I'm gonna have to measure the distance so I can cut a piece of pipe. So it'll make it all the way up to here. That where you see the other 90-degree elbow, that's where I want this one to make it to as well. So I'm just gonna measure that distance, cut a pipe, and reattach it and keep going. So here's the pipe, and here's my saw, and I'll just cut it. And one of the things that I like to do, I used to measure everything 100% and just order what I need. Now I like to give myself a 10%, 20% error. So I will order 10% extra of what I need. If I think I'm gonna only need 10 unions, I'll order 11 unions. Because worst case scenario, you can always go back to the store and just return that extra one that you didn't need. Versus you run short and now you have to go back to the store, drive all the way to the store to buy that one piece that you're missing, and it holds the whole project. You're everything on standby. So some parts that I have here, if you notice, I have extra pieces because I'd rather have extra than running short. Like I said, I can always return to the store, no big deal. So I'm gonna keep going, and update. I'll load up another video once it's done. So now everything it's been properly sealed with the glue. Now I'm just waiting for everything to dry out. So it is properly attached at the pole, runs all the way through to the house. It's been properly sealed already. Here I had to dug up a little bit more dirt out so I could push my elbow further to the left so it will properly fit. And then from here, the cable should come out here. And like I said earlier, usually what I would normally do, I would just put one of these connectors. Should work properly. All we have to do is slide it in there, drill into the house, and then we're good to go. We should be done. Just make a little tiny hole in there, get the cable inside the house. Since for me, doing the berry drop, it's one small project of another project, I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna say the berry drop, it's done. Project is in that little section. I'm gonna be running another pipe that's gonna feed wires from my modem to my main house. So that white box that's right next to it, it's gonna go in there. Those two pipes are gonna go into that box, and it's gonna have a bunch of connections. Also, I'm gonna use that same box to run the water inside the home. So it's gonna have the water running next to it too as well. And then I'm gonna cut a big hole on the other side of the wall. If you're interested in watching that as well, just watch the next video. Thank you. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you learned something. I'll be waiting for your comments. Thank you.